to this week's Battle of the Ports. This week we are taking a look at Warashi's Shenryu, a vertical shooter that was developed for the Sega STV arcade hardware and released into Japanese arcades in February 1997. Taking place in the distant future, Earth's people start their search for new planets to colonize, specifically those similar to Earth. The colony ships known as caravans travel deep into space until Caravan 7861 discovers a suitable fourth planet from an alien sun. However, none of the other caravans had followed. After 93 years of civilization on the new mother planet, the investigation of the missing caravan finally leads to a horrible discovery. The previous caravans had been attacked and conquered by a powerful regime of alien humans. Commanded by the mysterious Shenryu, the alien space fleet invades the mother planet and constructs fortresses across the world, destroying and replacing any established human influence. In response, a defense team called Burnt Dragon is founded, which calls for the best pilots and navigators to defend the new planet from the invading regime. Not that a shooter needs a story, but at least this one is slightly interesting. As for the actual game, players control either of two double-piloted ships. Survival is a great emphasis in gameplay, as enemies will fire blankets of pull shots across the screen. The weapon system is fairly straightforward, with there being three choices, each having their own bomb type. The default is the Red Vulcan, which when powered up can fire a widespread V pattern of bullets into the enemy. The bomb for the Vulcan is a large laser beam that swipes from the ship's sides and gradually faces forward. Next is the Blue Laser. This fires homing lightning, which is pretty strong. However, when the lightning is attacking an enemy, your ship cannot fire until the lightning has defeated what it was attacking. The laser bomb fires 5 laser blasts up the screen, taking out all weaker enemies. Finally, there's the Yellow Missile weapon. This fires missiles in a forward formation. When powered up, additional homing missiles are also fired. This is a powerful shot, but rather slow. The bomb for this weapon is a typical cluster bomb, such as seen in Raiden. In total, there are 8 stages in each loop, with a total of 2 loops. The second loop enemy bullets are fired at faster speeds. Four months after the arcade release, the Saturn port hit Japanese stores on June 27, 1997, featuring an all-new CG intro as well as the arcade intro. Being that the Saturn is based upon the STV arcade hardware, it's no surprise that the Saturn game is arcade perfect, right down to the transparency effects and chiptune audio. The game has 2 main modes. Saturn mode, which you are seeing now. This runs the game in a high resolution to squeeze the arcade Tate image onto a horizontal screen. This results in a game with a lot of shimmering and light grey borders down each side of the image. But wait, like many Saturn vertical shooters, Shenryu offers an arcade mode. And with the power of video editing, I can show you that without you having to rotate your screen. This arcade mode is exactly that, the arcade game running perfectly on the Saturn. It's all here, the arcade in your home. Only this time, you can select between 4 difficulty modes, with the default being the same as the arcade version. Shenryu also got a port to the PlayStation 2 years after the Saturn on June 20th, 1999. This is the US version that was stupidly renamed to Gekiho Shooting King. I guess the publishers thought that sounded more Japanese, or that English speakers couldn't pronounce Shenryu. Anyway, this port pales very much compared to the Saturn. Not only does it like the arcade introduction, but it also runs at an inconsistent frame rate with juddery graphics. It also has a lower grade version of the original soundtrack, resulting in weaker tunes and sound effects. It lacks some of the transparencies and depth effects that the arcade and Saturn has, particularly on the massive second level boss fight. It disables save game abilities, particularly high scores and option changes. In fact, there is no option menu. This version also doesn't have the second loop like the arcade and Saturn version. Now that's a lot of minus points. However, to make the PlayStation version seem better than it is, a load of bizarre modes have been added. Let's go through them one by one. Pocket Mode. This is the only mode which is original. Presented in Pocket Station style graphics and effects, this is an original shooter. I'm not sure if it works on a real Pocket Station as I don't own one. Comical Mode. The arcade mode, only there is little to no music, and the sound effects are replaced by various laughter tracks and audience applauses. Pretty bizarre and utterly pointless. Stingy Mode. The arcade mode, but now you only get one life. Again, a pointless mode, unless you want to 1cc the game, but you could just do that playing the arcade mode. No Mercy Mode. This is the arcade mode, only extremely difficult. Slow Mode. Again, the arcade mode, only with darker shading, an atmospheric techno beat soundtrack, and all the sound effects are replaced by haunted house type sounds. Ancient Mode. Yep, you guessed it, this is the arcade mode, but now presented in a sepia color palette with cracks and lines on the screen as well as tinny audio. October 23rd, 2003 saw the release of the PS2 Simple 2000 series Volume 37, which contained Shenryu and Shenryu Explosion. Now, I expected this just to be the PlayStation version running on the PS2, but no, it's actually a whole new port. I do wonder if there is emulation involved, but if that is the case, the developer has made a few changes to the graphics. For example, the explosions now look high resolution and the standard shot bomb is now using true transparency, unlike the arcade version. As for extras, sorry, nothing extra here. Sadly, like many PlayStation 2 games, this is interlaced, giving us the worst possible image quality. I've tried my best to deinterlace the footage for this video, but it still looks like crap. And yes, this is how it looks on a real PS2. And let's take a look at all those versions of Shenryu running side by side.